We're approaching the high holidays, and with approaching the high holidays, we're supposed to ask ourselves, where are we, and how do we get here? Am I closer to accomplishing my goals that I set out in the beginning of the year, or am I further away from them? Is my general direction in life bring me closer to God or further away from Him? Am I in the right path? It's often very hard in the present to see where my actions are leading me. But in the end of the journey, we can look back and be able to see if we were in the right direction or further away. An example for this comes from the Parsha. In the Parsha of Ki Tetze, the Torah tells us about a ben sorer umoreh, a rebellious child, that his parents bring him to the court system and say, this child is a rebellious child that needs to be executed. He has gone that far off the path that his parents need to bring him to the court and say, execute our child. A horrible, horrible thing. The Gemara says this is a fictional character. It has never happened that we have gotten to this situation. But the Torah tells us about the situation anyway. And if this child is convicted, then the town comes together and stones him. A horrible, horrible, horrible case. And while we're looking at this case, we say, how do we get here? How do we get to a situation that parents come and bring their kid and say, it's unbearable? If we look back just two bits beforehand in the Parsha, we'll understand very, very clearly how we get there. The Parsha starts out with, if you go to battle, and in this battle in the aftermath of the battle, there is a beautiful woman that you see that you've captured, and you want to marry her. Here's what you're supposed to do. And the Torah gives us a list of what you're supposed to do, and she ends up converting sort of forcefully, and then you can marry her. And after you marry her, for the wrong reasons, the Torah continues to tell us about if a man has two wives, one that he loves and one that he doesn't. So let's go back for a second. A person falls in love in the battlefield. This is clearly for the wrong reasons. This is not because you are coming from the same background. It is not because you have same values. It is because you were the stronger person and you captured and you saw a beautiful woman and you wanted her. This is not the right reason to settle down and get married. So you're marrying her for her looks, and she is forcefully converting because she has no choice. The next part of the Parsha tells us, it says, if a person has two wives, he has one that he loves and one that he doesn't. And the first one that he doesn't love has the older son. He needs to give that older son, he still needs to give in his will double, because that is the Jewish law when it comes to Yerusha, to the will. So after you married for the wrong reasons, now you have a wife that you don't love, so you marry a second wife that you do love, because you realized you messed up. And now from that second wife, suddenly you have this kid who's a rebellious child. Now the Torah is saying, where is this kid coming from? This kid is not a punishment. This kid is a result. This kid is a result of seeing that the mitzvahs make his mother cry because she never wanted to leave her family or leave her religion or her belief. So she's crying the whole time from anything that she needs to do. And the kid sees from his father that what matters is external, just the beauty. It does not make a difference what's inside. So of course the kid grows up rebellious. And then the second part is there's another wife, there's another family inside his family that is functional. So of course this child's going to rebel. Coming up at the high holidays, we're looking back and we're saying, what in our behavior is going to lead us in the wrong path? What in our behavior is not a punishment, but a result. If I'm doing something, there are repercussions. There's a ripple effect for what happens if you do certain actions. The Torah tells us, mitzvah goreret mitzvah, avera goreret avera. A good deed brings another good deed. A bad deed brings another bad deed. If you do good, you feel good afterwards. You want to continue doing good. If you do bad, you feel bad about yourself, so you just keep on doing bad. Let's start this year on the right foot by doing good, by spreading goodness, and hopefully have a wonderful and good year. Shabbat Shalom.